So, it's going to be an interesting debate, isn't it? So we're going to debate on whether or not the PWHL should one day follow in the NHL's footsteps and do an outdoor game. Now, oh, it's very old now. Yeah, I'm saying it right. Okay. I began being involved in the NHL from the young age of 12. It was 2009 is when I began as a South Sharks supporter. And in my early days, so the early 2010s, the outdoor games were always seen as like a big spectacle. You know, you win a classic on New Year's Day that everyone was looking forward to. You know, even if the two teams were not teams that you would support or you're happy to see, everyone just got involved. Then, of course, when I was in my graduation year of high school, the same series got introduced. Us three did compete. Yeah, in 2015, your lone outdoor game appearance we faced up against one another. And I've got the jersey. In my wardrobe. I'm surprised that jersey never got turned to a third jersey, because obviously your stadium series from that year did. It did. It had a very brief spell as our alternate, and we did love it. Yeah. So I'm surprised ours didn't, because it was a good jersey for the game. Yeah. So yeah, for the last few years, the stadium series and the World Classic just hasn't really felt the same. It hasn't really had that same appeal, and I don't think the NHL does a good job these days of marketing it. It's like, if you weren't involved in the NHL, you wouldn't know that all the World Classics comes out, or all the Stadium Series is around the corner. You just wouldn't know that. So I think what the NHL's been doing the last few years has kind of put me off the idea of wanting to do an outdoor game for the PWHL, but I think we should at the very least have this debate. We're going to do it with the All-Star game, whether the PWHL should do that. So let's just get stuck into it. So what do you two make of the idea of doing an outdoor game in the PWHL? Well, I think if we were to do it, it would be like how the World Classic started back in 2008. Yes! And God, now we're all feeling old. I think for the first one, there would be a lot of appeal. There would be a lot of mass interest in it. And I think the beauty of our league is it doesn't matter which two teams you put forward, you're going to have a really great matchup. Yeah, regardless. Yeah. So I think I'm interested to see would the league do it. You know, and if they do it, how successful would it be? Would you then go into the levels of the AHL, where you pretty much have at least one outdoor game a year? Yeah. Or in the case of next season, so 2026-27, it's 3. You've got the World Classic, you've got the Stadium Series, you've also got the Heritage Classic. So can you two just confirm to me, next year's World Classic, between Burnley and Tuskegee, is that definitely New Year's Eve 2026? Yeah. Oh, bloody hell. That's too close to the Heritage Classic. The Heritage Classic, I think, is going to be towards the start of the season. That's going to be about October 2026. In fact, look it up. Hold on. Yeah, the Heritage Classic is scheduled for the 25th of October, 2026, and Winnipeg will be hosting that. So why on earth is the World Classic then going to be 2 months later? knows, God knows. But I think you would initially get an interest. There would be a massive appeal for it. But the question is, how frequently would we then do it? If we do what the AHL does, and that is at least one or at least 2 a year, the appeal will go away very quickly. Yeah. The appeal will go away very quickly. That's why I think we should go the Heritage Classic scenario, which I'll go through, but what I'll go first, and then I'm going to throw in. I'm not too sure how I can feel about doing an outdoor game, because you run that risk of what the AHL does, which is where you just keep picking the same teams over and over. I mean, how many times have the Chicago Blackhawks been given an outdoor game? And let's just face it, their last outdoor game, they only got that because they drafted Connor Bedard. Okay, let's just do that. You only got that outdoor game last time because you drafted Connor Bedard. That's the only reason why. Admit it. Go on, Tommy Hawk, admit it. So how come you didn't then get an outdoor game for this season when you drafted Marcus Berry last season?
I wish I knew. And Marcus Berry is a far more better player than Connor Bedard. I've said it before. I did say it during our 5-season tour report. I'm going to say it again here on our 3rd season of Purple Rain. I happily would take Marcus Berry over Connor Bedard any day. Any day.
Well, we're going to have a very interesting draft this year around. Yeah, because I got second.
Yeah, we were recording this a few days after the draft lottery, and I got second. We'll see how that goes.
Second in a row, I picked second. I picked second last year behind Sweetheart. This year I'm being second behind Maple Leafs and the Felon. He had what his mum's done. Jesus Christ.
The rear tails are going down backwards here.
Did he get charged with handicap? No. Drop pace. Drop pace. Yeah, how many times have we seen Chicago get paid? How many times have we seen the New York Rangers get paid? And of course, Rangers are tricky because Rangers legally are not allowed to be the home team. So whenever the Rangers have been picked, it's been in the New York area, and they're never allowed to be, and if being made home team, they're not allowed to be home team. It's some sort of legal laws with Madison Square Garden. Even Lewin has been picked quite a fair few, 3 times. Yeah, also, he's had 3 Winter Classics now. Maybe. Yeah, 3. He's had 3. Pittsburgh, I think, is another one that keeps being because they haven't been to the Winter Classic yet, or have they? Pittsburgh. I think they have. Have they? I think they have. Might have been the first one. Oh, it's the first one that, because obviously 2008 I wasn't involved in the NHL. Was it the first one? Yeah. Oh. Sorry, Pittsburgh! Don't come for me, Sid! Don't come for me, Crosby! It was the first one. Right, sorry. They haven't been in your tenure, George. They've not been the Winter Classics in your tenure, but they have been in the Stadium Series a handful of times. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know they've been in the States a lot of handful, but I'm not sure about the Winter Classic, but they've been at least one. Yeah. Okay. We'll leave it at that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can't. I don't want the PHL to be like the Extra and go, right, we'll keep playing this team over and over again because we know that team would sell. Any team in the PHL would easily sell an outdoor game. The question is, how logistically can it work? Which arenas are we going to go into? Because it's probably going to be football and baseball stadiums. Or what Tusky's doing, a pokey shed. Pokey little shed in Utah. That's where we're going on New Year's Eve for Tusky and Bernie. And no prizes for guessing who George is supporting. Bernie! Well, and he will have to sit on my knee because there's going to be no room for him on the sofa. He's that big. Okay? You know, and my little souvenir from Denver. Oh, you're bringing him over. I may as well. Come on. Yeah. Hey, Bernie! Hi, Bernie. Where's the boys and girls? Hi, boys and girls. Yeah, I will definitely be giving Bernie my backing for the Winter Classic next season. It's just he will have to sit on my knee for that Hobbit bird because you're too big to go on the sofa. You would flatten the pack. It's not flat. I'm not taking that risk. Back up there, Bernie. There you go. There you go. Now you pop it on the bed. There you go. It's a bit more needs to fall off there. That's fine. Do we dare say Bernie has been used a lot? No, I think this is only Bernie's third appearance in an outdoor game. It's his first in the Winter Classic, I know that. I know it's definitely his first in the Winter Classic. Bernie's ever been in the Staying Series. He's been in 2016 and 2020, which goes YouTube. And you loved your Staying Series, just like, oh, we did, yeah. So he's only been two. Yeah. So maybe not, but no. Bernie, you still got a few more to add to your collar before we start saying you're being overused, my friend, okay? Right, so for me, I would like to see the PWHL do the Heritage Classic route. So I'm going to quickly explain that now for you guys, and I'm going to put my thoughts into it. So, the Heritage Classic was first played back in 2003, so way before anyone in this room's time. Way before anyone in this room's time. Okay, so it is one of the many series of regular season outdoor games played in the National Hockey League, and it has been held in football stadiums based in Canada. Now, unlike the AHL's other two series of outdoor games, the Heritage Classic has been played infrequently. So it's been held infrequently, so it's only once every sort of 2 or 3 years. Only 7 games have been played in the series so far, and the first 5 matchups were exclusively between Canadian teams. Since 2014, the Heritage Classic usually takes place early, around October or later in the AHL regular season, in order to avoid playing during harsh Canadian winters. And yet, in 2022, they played the Winter Classic in St. Paul snow. That was between Nordy and Louis. And oh my God, Nordy, those jerseys were horrible. They were horrible in that year. What were you thinking? Anyway, so the inaugural one took place in 2003, and that was the Oilers hosting the Canadians. And then the next one didn't take place until 2011. That was when the Calgary Flames hosted the Montreal Canadiens. Then it got played in 2014. So 2014 was a very busy year for outdoor games because you had the Heritage Classic, you had the Stadium Series. Was there 2 that year? In the Stadium, yeah. I was on Ducky and Cerise on the Rangers. Yeah. And you also had the Heritage Classic thrown there as well. An exciting Winter Classic. Yeah, that started with 2014, and that saw, I believe, the Oilers and go to the Vancouver Canucks. So Vancouver host that one in 2014. Then in 2016, we were in Winnipeg. So the first time we went to Winnipeg, and the Jets hosted the Oilers that year. Next one was 2019, and that saw Winnipeg host again, and they this time hosting the other Alberta club, so Calgary. And then 2022 was the anomaly here. 2022 saw the Toronto Maple Leafs host the Buffalo Sabres. So already it was like, because it has to be exclusive to Canadian teams only. So you moved Buffalo in. But also, interestingly, it wasn't played in Toronto. It was played in Hamilton. It was played in Hamilton. It was played in Hamilton. Wow. It was played in Hamilton. Wow. Okay. That's interesting where we are right now in terms of things. That's interesting. Okay. And then the most recent one was 2023. So it took 24 years to finally get the Battle of Alberta outdoors. Edmonton v Calgary. I remember that one very well because he was so much. Come on, Edmonton! Kill Harvey, kill! Well, let's face it. As long as the Oilers have got combat down on their team, I will happily root for them in any matchup, unless it's Sharky or Naughty. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. So that was a rare back-to-back because that was sort of in consecutive years, but not consecutive seasons. Because the 2022 was played during the 21-22 season, and the 2023 was played in the 2023-24 season. Yeah. So after this one in 2026, you might be looking at maybe 28 or 29 being the next one. So the Heritage Classic, they only schedule it like once every 2 or 3 years, and every time the Heritage Classic rolls around, every time it gets announced, I'm like, we're having another one. You know, and it kind of gets, that intrigue, it's like, that's exciting, I wonder who's going to be. You know, it's a very small pool. You kind of like, this sounds exciting, it kind of, that excitement that was originally there for the Winter Classic and the Stadium Series. I think because the Heritage Classic, you only play it like once every few years. The intrigue is still there every time it rolls around. Even though it's going to be World of 17s, because there's only 17s in Canada in the NHL. So I think if we do get an outdoor game in the PWHL, I think it needs to go down the Heritage Classic route. So you schedule it for, like, say, once every 2 or 3 years. Maybe do it like once as a biannual thing. There's a biannual thing. So say once every 2 years, we will do an outdoor game, and we'll pick 2 teams to do it, and maybe do it in neutral site venues. Maybe because obviously a lot of people are now suggesting maybe one day the Takeover Tour is going to go to Europe. So why not let's say, have the Takeover Tour go and do an outdoor game and see there. Because I think when we hit 12 teams in terms of expansion, we know the pause button is going to get pressed. So the next few years is an opportunity to really experiment with the Takeover Tour and do something different. So say, take it to Europe or take it outside, as a suggestion. So maybe that. So maybe think about maybe doing a neutral site Takeover Tour game, like say, markets that have been successful on the tour but haven't landed a team as of yet because of various reasons. But yeah, so I think I would like to have a go. I think it's an idea that I think, okay, let's trial run it
If it works, great. If not, well, at least we can say we did it. I would say trial it. Think carefully about the matchups. Don't do what the AHL just puts two random teams together and think it will work. It doesn't. And I'll talk more about that when we talk about taking the lead to Europe. That's coming up. We're going to do that soon, and I'll talk more about that there. Because you can also use your experience from LLB, although you don't call it LLB anymore. Because I can't say what I call LLB on the camera because it's not audible. Oh yeah. How I describe Major League Baseball these days, it's not audible on the camera. We can't do it. We will get cancelled. But I think you can all gather where I'm going with that. But yeah, I can't say what I think about Major League Baseball on the camera because I will get cancelled. So I think I would be surprised to go down the Heritage Classic route. So do it once every 2 years, make it a biennial thing. Think very carefully about which matches you're picking. And maybe have that consideration about maybe go on a neutral site game and see how it would work. Because I think that could be the thing that could maybe get the excitement back to the AHL. You know, take the Winter Classic or take the Stadium Series to a neutral site venue. You do it with the Heritage Classic, so why not do it with the Winter Classic and the Stadium Series? You know, and let's see. You know, just do something to make it exciting again. Because the Winter Classic, it's just not exciting. Are you watching the Stadium Series in 27? No, I'm not. I'm not interested in that. No. I think right now, of course, it all depends on PWHL schedules. I think I could definitely see myself watching both the Heritage and the Winter Classic next season. I do not see an interest in the Stadium Series. If it hadn't been for Booth, I think you might have shut the Stadium Series off this year because obviously you did not. I couldn't watch it. The Stadium Series for me was so hard to watch. Whichever idiot decided to have both teams wear colour jerseys for the 2026 Stadium Series needs to be shot. Oh! No, in fact, no. First needs to be hanged, shot, hanged again, and then decapitated. He got this aggression from? Probably Tusky. No, I'm serious. That was bad for my eyesight. You guys knew. I only watched I think the first 10-15 minutes of the Stadium Series and my eyes could not handle it. So I spent the rest of that series, that game literally just on my phone, and the whole pack were basically trying to will Booth on to victory. It didn't work! It didn't work! No, it didn't work! No. I bet Swayman had a hissy fit on that night as well, but no, it didn't work. But anyway, yeah. And it could be a good opportunity for them to have special jerseys, because you do wonder when will the PHL might consider doing alternates. And that would be a good excuse. The outdoor game, you do special jerseys. Well, the championship jersey should have been an opportunity to do a special jersey, but it didn't go well. No. And you can go check our thoughts on that. We did that before the season started. Basically, the only difference between this and our championship jersey is our championship jersey's got what I call a patch on. And in the episode, Pluto suggested that maybe it should have been the base be like a lavender or a lilac colour. And then that would have been a good difference between this and that. The way I saw our championship jersey was, it was the thought that counts, but you didn't really thought that much to it. If you want to hear our thoughts about that, go and check that episode out. We recorded before the season got underway. Yeah. So, before we go, shall we do like our dream outdoor game matchup? Should we do that before we go? Yeah. Just to throw it out there, just in case they do decide to do it, because I think we'll do this when we get to the Europe one. So,
Very easy. Just need to give me 2 teams. You don't need to say where. Okay. You just give me 2 teams and maybe try and give it separation why. We'll do that just to finish off. So, should we go this way? So put you're up first. Just 2 teams that you'd like to see in an outdoor game of PHL. Okay, I think Torrent Golden Eyes will be my pick. I think the Banker Seattle rivalry to PHL has been a lot more better, a lot more exciting, a lot more thrilling than the Seattle Banker rivalry in the NHL. But we all remember when the Kraken were joining, everyone said, oh, it's going to be really good for Finn. Finn finally gets to have a geographical rival. Won't it be great for Finn? Well, we're 5 years on. Can't believe that. We're 5 years on, and they haven't. It's been more damn squid. Yeah. I keep saying, I think I said it towards the latter end of the report, I keep saying the only way we're going to get a Canucks-Kraken rivalry is if these 2 teams meet in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I think that's the only way. I think that's the only way. And right now, our current system does make that more possible, but it all depends on how the 2 teams do in the standings. So I think that's the only way. But yeah, I agree with you. The Toronto Golden Knights rivalry has been a lot more exciting and more thrilling than it has been in the NHL. So I wouldn't mind that. So you're saying Toronto Golden Knights. Lady? I'm gonna do a Frost one, so at least you can say at least one was a done one with Frost. Yeah. I'm gonna go Frost Tio. Oh, I knew it! I knew it. Because I think right now you need to ask us which of the teams that are currently in the league at time recording, who would you see as your biggest rival? It probably would be Tio. It would be the Scepters. So I think you take that rivalry outdoors, it will implode. That's my pick. Okay. There's been a big reason why we say Scepters, of course, obviously, those 2 playoff series. We've had some very interesting regular season meetings over the years. So that does. Well, my pick is also Tio, but it's not Tio and the Frost. It's Tio and Aura. I knew you were going to say it. You keep saying that this is your dream playoff matchup. Well, I just think if the Sets in charge were to meet in the World Cup playoffs, and of course it very nearly did happen in year 1, guys. If there was a meet in the playoffs, I think that series, straight away that will go the full distance. You know that will go the full distance. You know it will. So I think and that would be just brilliant. So if you take the Sets in charge outdoors, then that Babel Terror rivalry would just, grow and grow and grow even further. And I think it would be a really exciting rivalry to watch. That's what I'm going to go with. Okay? So there you go. So at least we can say we've got some potential matchups in there. What do you guys think? What would be your dream matchups if the PHL did want to go outdoors? Where would you like to see the PHL go if it went outdoors? Let us know in the comments below or by email at pepperandpodcast.com. We want to hear from you guys as always. But for us, that is going to do it for today. So thank you as always. Until next time, take care, guys.